Sorry about that all. We are back. Doing our best, OBS is a little bit wonky right now. Some new updates are seeming to malfunction. But here we are once more, and it is good to be with you again. So, where we left off, you had asked me a particular question, which was that how close are your allies to this creature, Vivian? And the answer is immediately adjacent to them. Both of them are tangled up and being dragged in closer to its kind of lamprey-like mouth.
Alright, so in 5 feet or 10 feet?
They're within exactly 5 feet. They're both.
Okay, what about the sharks? How close are they to me right now?
The sharks, both of them are next to you. You and Cyron are adjacent, and the two sharks are. Sorry about that. Right up next to you. Back. Doing our best.
What I'm hearing is ice knife's probably not a good idea.
Might not be a good idea in this particular instance. But
what about Thunderwave? Will that break the cables if I do Thunderwave?
You had asked me if you would like to do a Thunderwave. You are welcome to do so. You want to try it out?
Let's just go Firebolt. I think it's a bit safer.
What are you Firebolt?
I'm gonna go push myself back a little bit, so I'm at least 10 or 50 feet away from the shark, and just kind of chuck a little bolt at the sharks.
That's gonna provoke.
Well, one of the sharks.
That's gonna provoke an opportunity attack.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably smart.
Sharks, if you want to do that.
Okay, so both sharks. I thought only one next to me, or are they both around me?
Yeah, they're both next to you. You and Cyron are adjacent, and the two sharks
that's probably
are adjacent.
Not good then. I'll just go walk my quarterstaff.
Alright.
The one right in front of me.
Great. Go ahead and make an attack roll. That definitely hits. Roll damage.
Alright,
Just click the quarterstaff.
Yeah, click the word quarterstaff where it appears.
Oh, okay.
Is the way to do that. Oh no! Well, there's a minimum of 1 damage on every attack, so even though it says 0, you actually did 1 damage. As you swing the quarterstaff up through the water, you're finding it's a little wonky to swing it underwater, and you kind of boop, despite the suit ability. Yeah, you just kind of boop it once on the nose. It just kind of doesn't make any sound. Doesn't seem to like it. If anything, it looks better at you now.
Doesn't that scare off sharks?
And anything else, that's probably all for your turn, so I think that's going to, unless you have something else.
No bonus actions or anything.
Very good. Siren, what do you wish to do?
Necrotic crowd.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. I can't remember what it does, but I'm definitely afraid of it. That's the Aasimar thing, yes.
Yes.
Your dark wings spread out beside you. Is this the one that does area of effect damage, or is this the one that does extra damage on your attacks?
Neither.
This fears.
Yes, this is the fear one.
Oh, you can also do extra damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell once per turn.
Very good. So they're going to make charisma saving throws.
Did you mention inclusion?
Seeing these wings, Bioshi's gonna lean over to Snooty and be like, if things can fly underwater, why aren't there any birds down here?
And then
that is a -2 and an 8, so...
Have you never heard of flying fish, Bioshi?
Is the ally just enemy that gets scared?
It is everything, so you are also going to have to make a charisma saving throw against this. Which I think you also fail.
It's me as well.
I'm pretty scared right now. This fucking guy just sprawled fucking wings.
Giant skeleton wings come out of your back.
Are the 3 of us within range?
No, you are outside of the range of this effect. Anything else on your turn, Cyron?
I'm checking. No, I do not believe so. Nope.
Very well. Both of the sharks that are kind of staring at you, both of them now as this incredible, terrifying skeletal wings as you give off this present, both of them kind of just turn and start kind of swimming away, as these are just kind of animals. They're very easily intimidated by this particular effect. And they're going to provoke opportunity attacks from both of you. Both Cyron and...
But don't have disadvantage because the sharks, he's scared me, don't have disadvantage?
Yeah, well actually, the sharks are going to take the disengage action.
Okay.
Because they kind of edge away carefully and then kind of swim away as fast as they can, not provoking any opportunity attacks, since they don't have to run. They're just choosing to. And they kind of swim out the door, as you seem to have actually pretty quickly handled these two threats. They weren't prepared for someone to just be spooky. And the other one is going to be the Skulker that's got the two of you entangled. He's going to make a bite attack against you, Bioshi, which has advantage, as you are restrained by the creature. As you look very appetizing. It's a 23. You take 4 points of piercing damage.
Oh, God. At least it took off some weight.
The suits don't seem to puncture, but it still feels extremely sharp, and you can feel that it definitely did the skin as you take 4 points. And that is going to be all for. That's going to be all for the enemy turns. That's going to, in that case.
How dare you!
Yes, that's going to bring us to Snooty with Tootington. What do you want to do?
I will
restrained.
free myself with my masculine muscles.
Go ahead and make me a strength check.
Just pure strength.
No, strength saving. Or no, yeah, this is going to be an athletics check if you want. You tear the seaweed away. It rips out of the body of the creature, which lets out that kind of sound again.
Crack my neck.
All right.
Glare at it.
You crack your neck. It looks like it's also going to be a little bit harder now that you've broken out of it once, as some of the seaweed kind of rips away for it to grapple you. That is going to. That's going to be all for your turn, I take it?
Yes, that is all.
Unless your bonus? Okay. That's going to then bring us to the Bioshi. It's eating you and you're tangled up in the terrible seaweed. What do you do?
That was so amazing.
Oh, perfect. You watch as Bioshi kind of takes the arm, does like a flexing motion with them, and it's like not actually any flexing that's happening. He's just kind of putting his arms in that position, thinking that might be the trick. As you are unable to break out of the seaweed at this point, Bioshi. Oh God, poor Bioshi. As that brings us next in the initiative to Vivian. What do you wish to do?
Holy shit, skeleton wings!
Yes, you are definitely afraid as you
So
look at your ally.
I take my arms and legs, do like kind of like the Mario long jump backwards, like towards my other allies, just away from Cyron, just backwards long jump, like Mario style.
Yeah, you just kind of push off the wall, getting as much different distance as quickly as you can, and you stand over next. You're going to move over next to your other allies?
Not like right next to them, but like at least like 10 feet close to them, you know.
All right, you guys aren't that far apart, so you're kind of like in the best middle distance you can get between the two.
I can't move any closer to them, so
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and swing a firebolt at the fish with disadvantage.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. Unfortunately, the 13 misses. As the firebolt flies into the seaweed, it just kind of gets tangled up. It doesn't hit the actual mass. It just hits the...
This is all your fault, Cyron. I failed. I'm still scared of him.
As we pass now to Cyron, what do you wish to do?
I am gonna swim up to the seaweed fish and inflict wounds on it.
All right. As you move into its melee range, I need you to make me a strength save.
Alright.
The vines kind of tangle quickly and wrap around your body, pulling you tight. You can make your inflict wounds, but you will now be at disadvantage as you are now also restrained by the creature.
Oh, hi, Cyron. Welcome.
Even though it's a touch attack?
Or I'm sorry, you have advantage on the saving throw because of Snooty.
Yes.
You can try that save again. Alright, yeah, so actually you managed to succeed. And you're not restrained at all, so just go ahead and make me a straight up attack roll. 8, though, unfortunately misses. You can't find a good place to get to the flesh. It's all just this hard outer carapace that seems to be blocking you. As it moves now to the creature's turn, he's going to make... he's going to make an attack against you. He's going to make an attack against... yeah, he's going to make an attack against you, Cyron. So that's a 20.
Alright.
Rest in peace.
Does a 20 hit, Cyron?
Yes.
Okay. You take 7 more points of piercing damage as the thing bites onto you. Its kind of circular lamprey mouth kind of catching you, even seeming to bore a little bit through the suit towards your armor, although the suit's still definitely intact. And that's all for the creature's turn. As we move back to the top of the initiative, which is going to be you, Snooty. What do you wish to do?
Alright, I am within melee range.
At the start of your turn, I need you to, make me a strength save with advantage.
10.
And that is not enough, as you are once again entangled within the creature's seaweed.
Damn you! I don't care, I'll still take you out then. 13?
13 misses. Ugh.
Dang it!
The slow burn. The martial arts strike also misses, unfortunately. As your muscles kind of bound up by the tight seaweed are unable to move and function as you would want them to. Anything else?
That's all I can do.
Oh yeah, I guess that's all. Bioshi, what do you got?
I suppose that they didn't just teach me magic at the academy. Luckily, I was able to somehow fit this in my suit.
You have disadvantage, unfortunately, because... But you hit! Roll damage! 9 points of piercing damage! Bioshi, you stab down into this creature as you're kind of fumbling about, and would you care to describe your killing blow on this monster?
Bioshi kind of fumbles for the sword and just kind of falls out of his pocket and falls onto it.
Oh god, you just kind of... in the water, it just kind of very slowly falls down into the perfect spot as it drifts down through to the bottom of the ship, where it seems to have its one tail eye, and it just kind of sinks into it, and the creature just slowly just...
A fall trap.
Oh no, I dropped my sword. Guys, we're gonna die.
Actually, I think you killed it, Bioshi.
Holy crap, you're actually useful.
And Bioshi, as you
You're
are now
not entirely useless.
As you are the hero of this particular moment, you are all now free to continue downwards if you wish.
Also, sorry, what a friend about those freaking skeleton wings. What the heck, man?
Well, we had to get rid of the sharks.
That was quite alarming. I'm saying this as I'm taking off some seaweed from the dead thing.
Guys, I'm a little...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm a little cut here. Let me heal myself real.
Let me heal us with prayer of healing.
That just kind of hurt.
I would prestidigitation make him think into something actually useful. I'd like to make a nice little magic sparkle.
All right, yeah, you make a nice little sparkle for Bioshi, and ideally you kind of take 10 minutes. Do you all just rest with I think I called you Ideal because it's your name there, but do you all rest with Cyron for a moment?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, though I am keeping my eyes open and maybe closing any hatches that might be down here so no more sharks fly in.
Very good. How are you?
Float in? Just shark
does everyone regain that hit point? That hit point total? Is that how it works?
I think so, yeah. Everybody.
I thought short rest for an hour. Oh, yeah,
this is a spell that takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, prayer of healing takes 10 minutes, but everybody gains 13 minutes.
Awesome. So
I didn't lose any, but that's exactly how many hit points I have, period.
I had in the first place.
That's how many I lost.
That's the kind of thing that I need to learn how to do.
Look, I have 8 hit points. If I need to regain 3 hit points, I'd be dead.
Very good. So you all kind of take this brief moment, you find your wounds. Those of you who had them are sort of covered over and completely healed, as you're all in a much better state now. And you continue forward, moving downwards. Most of the fish that were in this ship, after the kind of ruckus that you caused, now seem to be, steering clear of it. If anything, they're kind of, you see a few more of those sharks that are, lurking in various side rooms as you continue forward, but none of them seem to go after you, as you've certainly kind of intimidated them away, and they're keeping their relative distance. And there's the occasional kind of smaller, strange kind of glimmer of light, neon blues and reds of these other strange fishes that move in here, but none of those are small enough to, or large enough to do anything to you. You think even if they were harmful in some way or another.
It was clearly my large muscles that scared them away, and not the scary skeletal figure.
Or the fireballs. Or the
Say what you want.
Hey guys,
Oh, he didn't say this out loud. He just thinks this, and he's just flexing while putting like wood over the holes and using the seaweed to kind of tie it down.
Hey, careful, man! You want to break me through your muscles.
I want to thank you guys. You guys are the closest I've had to real friends. All my other friends are on the web. You know, spiders, flies that get stuck.
And as Bioshi is making this kind of startling statement, you all see up ahead as you've been kind of progressing downwards within the ship. You've moved into a space that is the cargo hold, and you can see that there are several holes in the ceiling up above where things have eroded. And it would appear that slowly sort of working downwards is this sort of black chest that probably has sat on every floor of the ship at one point and then slowly sunk through, it being relatively unfazed by the water, but the surrounding wood rotting away. And you can see what is clearly the obsidian chest that you came here for. Also in this cargo hold, you can see, for one thing, the bodies of quite a few dead, who are just at this point, skeletons that are floating amongst the wreckage, which you've seen in various rooms as well. People.
Are they dragonborn skeleton?
The skeletons actually entirely appear to be dragonborn, with the occasional exception, but the vast majority appear to be dragonborn.
Then I will take some of the bones, mostly skulls and such, put it in my backpack to give back to the Admiral.
Oh, that'd be kind of creepy, don't you think?
No,
like the skeletons.
I'm sure he would like to bury his dead.
Hey, Bionic. Hey.
As the priest of death among us, I will collect the skeletons for the Admiral.
So both of you kind of go around and grab some of these skulls from the space. You also see, gold in various places. This, like you said, was a merchant vessel, and you can see, piles of coins that have floated and collected on the corners of the ships because of the lean of it. You can see, broken old wooden crates and other sort of miscellaneous, goods that it looks like they were transporting that are, far rotted beyond any usefulness. And like I said, you see the chest.
I use Mage Hand to assist my collection of gold.
All right, yeah, you take a whole bunch of gold. There's probably 300 or 400 very old-looking gold coins that you're able to see just kind of scattered about.
I will study the chest before touching it, because I trust nothing.
Hey, careful.
Make an investigation check.
Right, let's see. I am fantastic at these!
You are, apparently. As you're looking over it, you're thinking, and you're really staring down this chest. But it just seems to be an obsidian chest. It's not like, you kind of like do like a little poke to be like, is it a mimic? No.
I trust nothing!
You kind of, move around the sides of it to see if there's any kind of like in there.
Well, I shall lift it up then.
Hey, careful. Don't want to get,
Slowly.
You lift it up very slowly, and you're kind of observing, you're cringing, waiting for something to happen. And as you pull it up, it seems like it had kind of rotted through the wood of the floor here, too. And beneath it, on your lamp as you shine down, underneath that kind of part of the wood where it was starting to rot, you can see some kind of like, it looks like it was resting on something sort of gray with like, some like hints of red on it. And as the light shines, you see 3 eyes arranged vertically on top of each other suddenly open.
I'm slamming it back down on it! Using the chest as a weapon.
All right, you slam the chest back down. It kind of breaks through some of the wood, and whatever that creature was, and you start to hear, a sound. It's very kind of high pitched and whiny. It's just kind of like a sound kind of coming, and also you start to feel a little bit of like a twinge of a headache. All of you do. And this creature, as you slam the chest back down, it's just gone. It's just black beneath the bottom of the ship now.
Time to leave.
Here, dolphin.
Time to leave. I'm immediately starting to swim back up.
You threw the chest down there. You go get it.
I just slammed it down. I still have the chest.
Okay, you still chest. Okay, I thought just like how let's float down there.
I didn't throw it. I would never throw the chest.
We just managed to crawl in this room. Are we leaving already?
Because I have a bad feeling. Let's go. I'm tying the rope around. I'm tying a rope around it, and maybe some seaweed to help bind it, and basically making it like a satchel.
Kind of making a backpack for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you do so as quickly as you can.
And swimming back up.
All right,
yes.
You start swimming back up. It's a lot harder. You're finding to swim with the chest on your back, but with everyone's kind of cooperating.
I kind of use Mage Hand to help it along, like I've been doing for Bio.
Mage Hand doesn't do a ton for that because it's Mage Hand only has a max lift of 10 pounds.
Oh, probably heavier than 10 pounds then.
Yeah, you get an extra 10 pounds off. It's helpful. And you.
My strength of 14. I am quite strong.
So you continue to kind of push through the space, swimming upwards, back through the various channels. At some points, would you guys go through like the ceiling holes and just kind of bust through, or do you just kind of follow the regular progression of the ship?
I go ahead of the wrecking ball.
I go ahead of them with my mace and just dash open the rotted floors of the ship.
All right, yeah, you're pushing aside the wood. What about you, Bioshi?
Bioshi just kind of pulling his line, trying to get back.
Well, Bioshi the wrecking ball. Think about it.
You're grabbing onto the line, and as you kind of yank on it a few times, there's no response. He's not in that room where the lines are set.
He's just trying to pull himself back to the ship.
Yeah, so you're kind of hand over handing along your own line, kind of getting yourself back to where you need to be, and you sort of work your way up. I would like all of you to roll me initiative again.
Oh no.
18 again.
9.
23. Bioshi just wants out.
11.
And this creature is going to roll it to GM. All right, so yeah, you kind of proceed on for some time, and you hear a voice, all of you, that kind of speaks in your head as it's moving, and it just says, "Why do you awaken my slumber?"
Who said that?
One of me. It was the Anarchist Lord guy.
We are returning what is rightfully this dragonborn's possessions to him. It is his family's.
So we didn't mean to wake you up. Just go back to sleep.
Could everyone tell me their armor class?
15.
11 currently. They can change the shield.
13.
As you're moving, as you're kind of swimming up in the ship, you hear the sound. You also are looking around the space. You see that none of the fish that were just kind of ambient in here are in this place anymore. The ship is just dead empty, save for you. And then all of a sudden, out of the various windows within the ship, 4 tentacles within, and they hit all of your headlamps, and you are now plunged into complete darkness.
I cast the lights on my face.
Yes, those of you who have dark vision are still able to see, although it is now just kind of this odd off-gray, even more dimmed by the water. And Cyron, immediately as a reaction, you kind of light up the space in your face as you continue to swim. And you can see this very large creature, not as big as the one that you saw off the side of the ship before, but a large, strange tentacled creature, just a shadow in the distance. You're unable to move, make it out quite as it's moving along the sides of the ship. But it's struck with a lot of strange precision there. This thing is clearly very threatening. And you continue upwards. Far up above, you're kind of move out of the main ship, and you can see the submarine up ahead, and right now you have no vision on the creature that's pursuing you, it would seem.
All right, we don't need to outrun this thing. We need to outrun Bio. All right.
We should probably hurry up.
We obviously need to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Based on my magazines, things with tentacles like that, it's going to end badly for us.
Oh,
to the submarine!
What?
To the submarine!
You swim as fast as you can upwards, and as you're sort of moving, you see this thing emerge from behind the wreckage of the ship as it swims out and looks at the kind of the 4 of you in the darkness. He's going to look at... I think he's going to look at you, Snooty, who has the chest. I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Oh no, I am fine at these!
And in your mind, as this thing is revealed, you hear it say, "Please, join me." And for a brief moment, you have this instinct to turn around and swim back down towards the creature. You push that thought out of your mind and swim up. But now the creature's form is kind of revealed to you. It is this very long, sort of squid-like creature. But it has several. You see like 5 or 6 of these very long, kind of thin tendrils that seem to be pulsing with this strange sort of kinetic energy. And its mouth is a little bit similar to that of the seaweed creature that you saw before.
It's a kraken, isn't it?
Go ahead, any of you who wants to can go ahead and make me an Arcana or Nature check.
I will, with Arcana.
They are both the same for me, so it doesn't matter. 12.
Snooty McTooting, or actually you don't know. The only one who knows actually, I thought that was a 19 that you rolled. The only one who knows actually is Bioshi. You read this a very long time ago when your mother was making you learn about planar travel. These things are resident to the plane of water. This is an aboleth.
Guys, I've read about these in my magazines. You don't want to get caught by this.
And in this case, the first to act in this initiative, as the submarine is very nearby, is also Bioshi. What do you wish to do?
Oh, we're not getting caught. He's pulling himself up.
All right.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
You kind of hand over hand and drag yourself up and into the submarine. You are now kind of within it, but it's not like closing up or locking or anything because it's waiting for. He's waiting for you all to get in. You hear as you enter, though, a voice over the intercom within this space. It seems to speak, or it speaks into your helmet now that you're in here. You hear, "Were you able to locate my chest?"
Yes, Snooty has it. He's coming.
In that case, that's going to bring us to the next who was an initiative, which was, well, speaking of...
Snooty! Hello! I am going to dash using, well, will I be able to make it there in a dash? I have 40 feet of movement normally.
Yeah, you can get up. You're all kind of close enough that you can all move into the space
doing that.
On your turn. All right, as you do so, you kind of swim up next to Bioshi, who's also in the water lock. Kind of, it's still open at this point, waiting for everyone else to get in. That's also going to bring us to. That is going to bring us to first Vivian and then Cyron. Do both of you want to do the same, or are you going to swim up into the hatch?
I'm just going to swim up into the hatch.
All right, Cyron.
Swim up into the hatch.
All right, so all of you do, and you now hear the voice of the person that you all know as Admiral. Admiral speaks to all of you and goes, "I understand that you have located my chest. Very good work. We shall now return to the surface. Are all of you ready to go?"
Yes, please.
Yeah,
let's make this quick. I think we found something.
We awoke an aboleth. It is not
There is an
having.
aquatic creature down here that wants to murder us in very violent fashion.
Let's please
It
leave
doesn't
now.
want to murder us. It wants to do very bad things to us, though.
Shut up!
The sonic frequency given off by my radar should have countered that. That is a little bit odd. But
It's
I
an
will,
aboleth.
and at this point he goes, "I will close the hatch." And
Yes, please.
and you start to see the hatch closing as it passes to the aboleth's turn, and the aboleth kind of swims up, obviously very comfortable and fast within the water. As it moves, its body kind of, the tentacles first stretching out behind it like an eel, and it moves up to the hatch, able to do so easily without having to dash. And the tentacles just kind of lash out and reach into the space, kind of 3 of them as the hatch closes, kind of sticking into it, trying to basically pry the hatch open, it looks like, as the space... that's all he's going to do with his turn, is he's going to try and like keep the hatch open as he's moving down to space. You have 3 of these tentacles that are kind of flailing around, and actually has 4 that he can use right now. So one of them is also going to make an attack. He's going to attack randomly.
Oh no.
Oh, no, that's not it's supposed to be a D4.
1d, 45.
Oh god, that's Bioshi. He's going to attack. He's going to attack you, Bioshi. For that'd have been a 13, not a 27.
Well, that still knocks him out.
Oh god! One of the tentacles just kind of whips through the space and whacks Bioshi up the head, who just kind of starts floating, drifting lazily like someone in zero gravity through in the space as he no longer has any control. And that is all for the foe's turn. 3 of these tentacles are holding the thing up. One of them kind of retracted after the strike. That brings us back to Bioshi. I need you to make me a death save. 1 success. That's all for Bioshi's turn. That's going to bring us to Snooty. What do you want to do, Snooty?
I'm going to work it! Really hard!
16. As you kind of swing down at one of the tentacles, you have advantage on the strike because it's kind of in the floor, so you can't really do a lot.
17!
17 hits.
Good.
Really. 9 points of bludgeoning damage. As you hit the tentacle, it kind of retracts into the space.
And 1 more! 18!
All right. 18 also hits. And a second tentacle rips in. There's only one that's still holding it up, and it looks like the door is trying to kind of like crush it just through the mechanism by which it closes. And you hear Admiral kind of speak to you over the your headpieces and the suits again. I'm seeing that there is a jam in the door. Please investigate that. That is going.
It's a freaking tentacle.
That's going to bring us to Vivian.
All right, let's see what we can use here. So how close are they to the tentacle? Like my
kind of
allies?
I mean, it's just kind of flailing around the space. It looks like it could get to anyone if, because of the size of it and the space of the cavern.
Well, physically for an area of effect. What area does it kind of occupy compared to my teammates?
You could strike the tentacle and not hit an ally if you want to use an area of effect on it.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Firebolt, just to be safe.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Well, that failed.
Make sure you roll it on the front page.
I see. Is it also still with advantage?
Oh boy, 8.
It is with advantage because the tentacle.
With advantage? Okay, I'll roll again then.
Yeah.
All right, roll. Okay, that's better.
There you
go. The firebolt kind of crashes out and strikes into the tentacle, which kind of burns up and pulls out and retracts, and you hear
I actually did something with my magic.
Or I need you to roll damage, actually. I'm sorry, it's not automatic.
Yeah, okay, so it's 1d10 fire.
I assume it's most likely going to... Okay.
Nice.
No, that's an attack. You got to click where it appeared in chat. You just rolled an attack.
Oh, yeah.
That was the attack roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's... that's less satisfying than a perfect 10, but
Yeah, that's actually not quite enough. As the fire
strikes
into it, it burns and singes. Well, it's the level 1 life. It burns and singes the outside of the tentacle, and you can see it kind of, you get that smell of calamari if it weren't for your suits, but it is not. It's still barely hanging on to the inside of the door. It's mostly retracted. Cyron, what do you wish to do?
Finish it off.
I am going to cast Inflict Wounds, and this is with advantage, correct?
That is with advantage. 20 hits. Roll damage. All right.
That's
You watch as the tentacle just kind of shrivels and just almost turns to dust. This tentacle seeming to just be kind of like destroyed, not even retracted. It's just destroyed as the gate crushes the rest of the way down. The kind of front half of the tentacle now rests shriveled from the necrotic damage inside of the space. And you hear a voice over the intercom going, "The hatch is now going to be closing. It seems the obstruction has been cleared. Please hold by whilst we drain the water. Take but a moment or two."
As this is happening, I'm going to use Healing Hands on the unconscious Bioshi.
You're still in initiative, so are you going to do that as a... Is that a bonus action?
I'll do it next turn then.
Okay. And that is going to bring us to the creature's turn, who does nothing that you can see. And that's going to bring us to Bioshi. I need you to make another death save. That is a success. That is going to, in that case, bring us to Snooty.
I am going to prepare an action for anything bad that happens.
What? What is the action that you're preparing?
I will hit something. If something bad happens, I will hit it.
Very well. You prepare to, if something bad happens, hit it. That is going to bring us then to Vivian. Vivian,
okay, I'm going to go ahead and let's see what I can do here. Spells. I think I can use on Mr. Bionic over there, but I think what I can do is I'm just going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor just in case.
Awesome. You watch as this kind of sheen appears over the outside of the suit. That is going to then bring us to Cyron.
And I'm going to use Healing Hands on Bioshi.
Right. How much does Bioshi heal for?
3.
Oh my god, I must be dead. You must really be an angel.
All right. You hear a sound. You hear a sound over your intercom, and that sound is, "I'm going to begin draining the water. I think we are safe." And then, all of a sudden, you hear kind of that, and the wall, the other side of the hatch, kind of, and opens, and all the water in your space kind of pours into the rest of the submarine, as also kind of a broken window, and you can now see that he's kind of like, he's kind of squirming because it looks like the chamber is being depressurized all of a sudden, as the water is pouring into the space from outside, as one of the portholes on the side of the submarine has been smashed through, and tentacles are kind of whipping inside the space of the submarine. What do you all wish to do?
Oh no, this is bad.
Would proficiency with water vehicles apply to this?
Proficiency with water vehicles?
Yeah, will that apply with this?
It'll allow you to make a check. If no one else would even have any clue, you might be able to figure something out.
Okay,
but it won't necessarily guarantee that you can pilot this thing, as it's the first one ever of its kind.
Okay. So where are the tentacles at? Are they like around the controls at all?
The controls are on the opposite side of the submarine, which is fairly long, and like you have a little bit of a ways to get to the controls.
Okay, I'm just going to dash towards them.
All right, go ahead. You run across the space. There's a tentacle that's whipping through the space. Are you going to ignore it and just try and like duck around it, or are you going to?
I'm going to duck around it. My big flying speed's 35. That would be
It's going to provoke an opportunity attack.
Okay, I'm going to just risk it.
All right. 21.
Yeah, it hits me. It hit me perfectly for the amount of damage needed to kill me. So I'm gonna do it.
Unconscious. You're kind of running and trying to duck by.
This is why being with this fucking sucks sometimes.
As you're moving into the space, the tentacle kind of whips you back of the head, and you watch as he collapses down to the ground. That is going to bring us to... Actually, I think it wasn't your turn yet. So that will happen on your turn, because it should have been the top of the initiative, which would have been Bioshi. I'm not sure how we got out of order like that. Bioshi, what do you wish to do?
Bioshi big enough to plug the hole with his body.
There's a tentacle in said hole, but you could definitely plug the hole with your body.
Well, I guess Bioshi's gonna take out his short swords. Be like, just like in the magazine, runs up, just try to chop up.
You could probably wedge yourself in, but you'd be stuck in with a tentacle if you want to try and do that anyway.
I'll flash, and then I'll wedge myself in.
Alright, go ahead and make me whatever roll you think would be the appropriate roll for this. I'll let you pick, like, athletics, acrobatics. I have no idea what this is, and I'm going to let you choose it.
You just didn't jump into it.
Alright. Roll it up for me. Alright, yeah, so you jump and try and, like, position your body such that it'll fit, and with the water kind of pouring in, it's a little bit tough, but you get in the top and, like, hook your legs around barely, and, like, sidle yourself in, and you're now kind of, you hear kind of a whoop, and Bioshi is now sealed into the back of this. It is a very unpleasant feeling, but the suit is keeping you from dying, and the tentacle is like whipping around as it's also stuck in the porthole alongside of you. The water stops flowing into the space. As this happens, the captain seems to kind of like gain some of his composure. What do you want to do?
Wait, this is all messed up right now. Wait, does this keep getting hit by the tentacle, or does it get the tentacle?
It is time for Lord Snooty's turn.
He doesn't get hit by a tentacle. The tentacle already made its one opportunity attack against you.
Right.
Snooty, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna thwack it!
Alright, go for it. 14 unfortunately misses. Oh no, actually it's in the same position the other ones before, so now you have advantage on it.
Alright!
Yeah, you miss.
That doesn't matter!
You swing down, it's hard to get a grip on it, it's flailing about
But it's fine, I'll hit it this time!
As you can see, the kind of, yeah, that one definitely hits. Roll 6 damage, you strike the tentacle, it kind of falls and withers, and kind of stops moving in the space that it's in. For a brief moment before it pulls out and pushes you even more kind of snugly wedged into the porthole that you're blocking up right now. Bioshi, there's a thin coating of water all along the floor of the submarine. That is going to then bring us to, it would have been Vivian now, but...
I do a whole lot of nothing, roll with death saving throw, woohoo,
yeah,
so fun.
You get hit, and that's going to bring us to, Cyron.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna cast Spare the Dying on Vivian, so that way Vivian isn't dying right now.
Alright, you are now no longer dying as Cyron kind of holds out the hand and casts life upon you.
I'm still unconscious, just I'm not dying.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
So I'm stabilized, correct?
Yes, you no longer have to make death saving.
I'm still floating like an idiot, but you know.
You're just kind of floating around in the space. We're not floating because this space is mostly air. You're just kind of on the floor at this point.
No, I'm just like, no, it's like one foot just kind of floating around like a little kiddie pool.
Oh, yeah. Just kind of, moving as the submarine rocks and sways, the water kind of sloshing you along with it. That is going to be all for your turn, I assume, Cyron? You're going to keep going?
That is all for my turn, because I am not getting close to that tentacle.
You mean the one that is no longer in here?
No, they're still kind of in there.
Yeah, the tentacle has been taken down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your boy Snooty took it down.
Okay. I thought there was multiple. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna do for my turn.
Alright. At the end of initiative, you hear you see the giant mouth of this creature start kind of crashing into another window. It looks like the teeth are trying to spin around and puncture through the glass on the outside of the submarine, but it is not seeming to be able to get through at the moment. And the captain, or Admiral in this particular instance, kind of speaks, yells back to you from the front of the ship. He hits sort of a control on the front of it, and he goes, "I'm walking down the front of the ship. We are going to detach the main part of the ship and leave the rest of it behind with this creature. You need to get up here now or you'll be left behind."
Well, I'm fucked.
Sounds like a plan!
And you hear...
Okay,
you hear
I'm
a kind of
guessing
Sounds like a plan!
okay, I say, Snooty, grab the chest. I'm gonna.
I already have it
Vivian.
still.
Oh,
Okay,
God, this guy, man.
Then I'm gonna grab Vivian and try to drag her into the front of the ship.
Him!
Yeah, you grab onto Vivian, and you start kind of moving along, Vivian moving behind you, and...
I'm just getting into the front of the
dragging-
ship.
Yeah, I'm just
like I
dragging
said,
Vivian.
the ship's about 200 feet long, so you have a little bit of a ways to go, but you start kind of sprinting across. As up above you can see a part of the ship is slowly starting to go down. Bioshi, you are stuck in a porthole that is keeping the ship from sinking for the moment.
You're a hero, Bioshi! We believe in you!
Or actually, no, because the initiative got messed up, I think it makes the most sense for Vivian. Well, Vivian, you're unconscious. So yeah, it would be Bioshi now.
Well, if the ship is going down anyway, am I the part that's gonna sink?
Yeah.
So if I unplug myself and just ride the wave, can't I just make it to the part that's not gonna sink?
You can try and do that if you want.
You're going to kill us both.
Well, if I unplug myself, then the flow will also push Vivian's body.
Or I can just drag Vivian with us.
What do you want to do, Bioshi? What's the play?
I guess I'm gonna.
Or you can stay
I'm
there.
gonna hold my action for them to like get ahead of me, and then put myself out and start to run.
All right, so you get ready for everyone else to kind of take their round. Snooty, you run as fast as you possibly can. Cyron, you're moving at half speed because you're dragging someone with you. So you're getting a little bit closer, but Snooty's way up ahead. Snooty's defo gonna make it.
Can I try to carry Vivian, put Vivian on my shoulder and just run like that?
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like dragging a person causes it's like moving while grappling. It takes half your half your movement. But yeah, that's what I'll say you're doing is you're kind of have Vivian's body kind of moved up over onto your shoulder as you kind of continue to move forward.
I give you an unconscious thumbs up.
That is then Bioshi. This is your ready to action.
He pops himself out. He runs, and he's gonna try and help carry Vivian.
Maybe a dexterity saving throw is how I'm going to rule this. Which you're fine. You kind of get thrown out, and then all of a sudden the water kind of pushes you along and starts pouring into the back of the submarine, and you ride the wave to a greater or lesser extent as your big body kind of turns and moves you farther along the length of the ship in the direction that you wish to go, and you kind of get up and start running awkwardly in your suit to get up with your allies, and the water's kind of pushing you along from behind. You're right up along Cyron now as you continue to run.
I may not be able to swim, but I can sure float.
Cyron, I would like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
You've killed us both.
The kind of creature that's on the outside of this aboleth, looks at you and goes, "You kill that Admiral." And he directs you to kill the Admiral, which you feel compelled to do.
I drop Vivian.
Oh, come on!
What do you do?
I'm gonna drop Vivian and then just run to the Admiral.
Wait,
All right.
is it my turn?
Yeah, it's not your turn. When the initiative has gotten a little bit wobbled, that was the last thing in initiative, so we're going to go back to what the original initiative was, which would be your turn now, Bioshi.
Well, Bioshi's gonna help with Vivian.
All right, yeah, so you pick up Vivian, and with your, you're able to move the same kind of pace that Cyron was, kind of dragging Vivian along the water, along the floor, kind of helping you as the body is buffeted up by the suit. Actually, I'm going to say you're not even taking a penalty to speed anymore with all the additional water that's now pouring in.
Am I, unconsciously using him as a surfboard?
You could be used as a surfboard if that's what Bioshi wants to do.
No. I'm just, on him, laying on him unconscious and using him as a surfboard.
Bioshi's the one slowing along. He's...
Yeah, pretty much. And that's going to be Snooty. You want to do Snooty?
I'm getting 80 more feet.
All right, you're up into space, and he goes. He kind of looks back to you, and he looks a little bit beaten up, like he's already taken some strikes. And he looks at you, just. Where are your compatriots? And do you have my box?
They're coming, and I have it. Yeah, I just point to my back, and I've made it to a backpack. And I also look pristine. My mustache inside the suit is perfectly, coiffed, just perfect.
We are going to get out of this one, I believe. And he goes, I do not actually have any confidence in that statement. And that's going to bring us to Vivian, you're unconscious and being carried. Cyron, you are told to kill the captain.
This is so fun.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that this is going to work the way I think it works. When I get to the captain, because I'm just booking it at this point, I am going to use the magic ring I got from
Oh dear.
From the bag.
What are you going to do?
And I'm going to change healing word to sealing word.
Wait, what? What is your intent? For starters, tell me what your intent is. Are you trying to hit...
I'm gonna...
Are you targeting the captain with this ability?
Yes.
Alright, he's gonna make a strength saving throw. Which he is, not in particularly good at. It would seem he had a +1 bonus that he should have been applied. But you watch as the captain, you see he kind of looks back at you and he goes, "What is it that you are?" And you watch as his mouth kind of just closes, and his eyes suddenly just kind of shut, and he is now just in this space where his lips and eyes seem to have been completely sealed, and he's now just kind of like rubbing his hands on his face, trying to stop whatever this horrible, horrible thing that you've done to him is.
Well,
he's... Alright. So,
I've seen this happen.
Yeah, you see this happen.
What are you doing?
What I was commanded to do. And then I take out a crossbow bolt and try to shove it into the captain's closed eye socket.
Alright, well, you're not there. You're not quite close enough, so you'd have to shoot it.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot it into, like, his closed eye socket.
Alright, go ahead and make it. Oh, God, that's grisly. Go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage because he's blind. Yeah, 14 definitely hits. Roll damage. The captain takes a hearty blow to the head, and you see that also knocks him out, as he is not, or the Admiral, as he is not, he is a regular person for the most part. He kind of falls over unconscious. At the end of your turn, I need you to make me a wisdom save. As you do so, you find your mind kind of clear, and you realize what you have done to the captain the Admiral of your ship.
I say, the creature made me do it, I swear!
And the creature on its turn is going to do nothing. There's nothing it can do, unfortunately. And that is going to bring us once again to Bioshi.
Is Bioshi past practice closing?
Alright, yeah. So you can, you want to continue running, dragging yourself forward. You are able at this round, I will say, to kind of make it up to where the gate is closing and you move into the space. On the next round, Cyron, you are able to do as well.
Thumbs up. I'm not dead anymore. Well, I'm still not,
The captain is now kind of unconscious in this space, as is... and you kind of look down at Admiral, and he looks maybe a little bit more than unconscious. And you are now in the space, and the gate the second lock on the submarine kind of closes down behind you, and you watch as the back half of the submarine that was getting destroyed kind of floats away through a porthole on the back of this closed space, and you can still see the creature outside kind of skulking around. But what do you all do? You only have what do you do as you're now in this last section? I'm just going to cut initiative.
I'm unconscious.
Yeah. For one thing, do any of you have any healing effects?
I do, actually. I could cast Healing Word.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The question is, do I cast it on the captain or on Vivian?
The captain seems like he might be dead. Like that.
Okay, so the captain's
he had about 3 health, yeah.
Okay, so I killed the captain. I'm going to cast it on Vivian then. And oh my god, I just realized because she's at 0, I think I heal her for maximum. No, the captain's dead.
Him.
Oh no, Vivian is
I'm a male. Vivian is gonna drop this name I say to you or they get up.
Oh, so Vivian is a male. Okay, I did not know that.
It could be used as either male or female. Don't judge me.
I understand. Okay, I'm not judging.
I kind of shoved you out of the way to go through the console and start trying to figure out how this vehicle works.
Are you going to Healing Word, Vivian?
Yeah, I'm Healing Word.
I thought that was implied.
Okay. So, Vivian, you stand. Bioshi and Bioshi and Snooty, you're in this space. Your kind of charge at this point has fallen. You have the case, and this creature is outside. And the creature seems to be having a little bit of trouble getting into the compartment that all of you are in. It seems like this front of the submarine is a little bit more solidly built. The controls in front of you. If you want to go ahead and make me a check in order to pilot this thing. It's going to be probably an intelligence check. And I'll let you add. And you'll add your proficiency bonus to it if you want to go ahead and roll that for me, Vivian.
That would be what I roll plus. Rinse bonus. That'd be let's roll plus 2. I'm thinking through the direct roll for that right now.
So roll an intelligence check.
That'd be
to that. So 10.
That'd be a 10.
You're working on it. You're starting to kind of see some elements that you might be able to work with, but right now you're not having much luck. What is everyone else doing?
I guess I can help him figure it out.
While they're doing this, I kind of what I want to do would take way too long to actually accomplish right now, but it would take. But I want to.
Is the captain the Admiral, or is the Admiral someone else?
Admiral. There's one person on the ship with you.
Oh.
His first name is Admiral.
Yeah,
He's the captain of the submarine, but his name.
And
is
he's
Admiral.
dead now.
Can I use insight to infer how to floor this thing?
I want to see if Jeremy would allow this, or or whatever, or Pete. I want to use ceremony to technically turn him into an undead like me.
Is that a thing? Okay.
Ceremony is a spell, but it takes an hour to do, so I basically would be useless for the next hour.
Okay.
But it would.
We'll talk about that once that hour comes up.
Yeah, basically for the rest of the fight, I'm useless. If I start it now.
I'm gonna barricade the door with anything I can find.
All right. So you all barricade the doors. Bioshi, what is in these kind of like moments as you're like, well, this is it. Vivian's kind of anxiously kind of poring over the controls, trying to figure something out. Bioshi, what are you doing?
Bioshi can help try and figure things out. He's pretty smart, actually.
All right. So what do you? You're gonna. So go ahead and make me another intelligence check with advantage, Vivian, as Bioshi is there, kind of helping you. All right.
So that's 19. The 21.
Yeah.
And that's a 21.
Yeah. You and Bioshi are kind of poring over now these controls, and with Bioshi kind of pointing out some key elements and watching where things are kind of navigated. You start kind of controlling the thing, but you hear the creature. You hear the creature once again kind of speak into your minds. That box shall not hold you for long. Referring presumably to the submarine hull that you're all in. But then you notice something, and that is that a sound that was on the submarine for the whole kind of 7-hour journey that you were moving down here is no longer there. And that is the sound of sort of beep, beep, beep. The sensor that was warding off, well, creatures supposedly like this one. And that was in the back half of the ship. And out of the trench below you, you kind of hear a kind of a deep, low rumbling, and you watch as kind of emerging from it, that huge shape that you saw previously kind of swims up. It looks like this large dragon made out of water that kind of curls and steams. The light of the submarine kind of barely letting you catch glimpses of this, and its mouth crashes into the aboleth's maw, or its maw kind of wraps around the aboleth and kind of carries it off. And you just kind of hear as the aboleth is carried away by this massive beast. A lingering... and then just the silence of the inside of the submarine.
I fucking floor it.
Dragon?
Snooty's mouth is like very agape right now, and he just turns to the others. I'm never coming back to the ocean again.
Dragons are so cool.
Just a day in the life, I guess.
And you all eventually, through Vivian's guide, find your way back up using the submarine. It takes a very long time. And Bartholomew, you kind of return to Bartholomew's shop. Many many days later, as you kind of work your way back. It's not like the most efficient return from an adventure that any of you have kind of ever experienced, or I guess for some of you the first time, so this is probably the standard. And you work your way back to Bartholomew's shop. Your ceremony, it seems, how does that work exactly, Cyron? Does that actually allow that, or is that like a thing you want to know if I'll rule in this instance?
I want to know if it's something you would rule in this instance.
Okay. What that ends up doing for you, I will say that it's going to function similarly to that of a preserve life spell in this case, or not a preserve life, but the spell that allows an undead or a soul to not leave the body and get more time on a body. It preserves the physical form, although he's not raised as a full undead.
All right.
And eventually, as you bring the body of Admiral back to the shop, you see the wizard, of course, Bartholomew, who is our resident quest giver here, sees you all return. He goes, "Oh, yeah, you all were gone for quite a while. I was starting to get worried. You didn't even show up, and usually when people die, they just show up back here at the shop when everything is okay."
Well, at least you know we didn't die.
Yeah, so I thought maybe you got something worse, like we're captured and now in prison for all eternity, or something
Thank
like
God that's not the case. No, we just were attacked by an aboleth, and our guy was kind of shot by the aboleth.
The Admiral.
I shot the Admiral because the aboleth made me.
The Admiral assured me when he set this out as a story to your quest that there was, he told me that he had a thing on a ship that would prevent anything scary from attacking it.
It didn't work.
Well,
It broke.
The aboleth managed to resist whatever that device was.
I blame Bio.
Well, this is... I need to get paid, and you need to get paid. And he kind of looks down at the body of the creature. Oh, wait, he seems still kind of alive. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and you watch as some... the Admiral kind of breathes deep, and I assume that I would be dead. But it would appear that we have made it out of that situation. You have my box?
Yes. I just take it off my back. I've just been holding it on my back the entire time.
I will take it. I will give you your money. I do not have any money on me. Bartholomew, please pay them, and then I will pay you back later. And I will, perhaps I will no longer go on the sea, but I have what I wanted, so that does not matter. Thank you very much.
What's
I
in the
agree with you.
box?
I will never go on the sea again, ever.
And he opens it up, and inside it seems like there's just a lot of very personal family heirlooms, deeds, wills, ledgers, history.
Is there an eye patch in there?
There is, of course, not an eye patch in the box, but Bartholomew goes, and for that you all gain one eye patch, and he hands each of you a conjured eye patch that he makes, and 100 Bartholomew bucks, and you each gain a point of experience, which means if you are level 1, you are now level 2, and I have to thank you all very much for participating in this adventure as you've completed it.
Yeah. So
Mr. Admiral?
Oh, wait, that was Bartholomew. What is it?
I see some shining book in there. Do you mind if I look at it?
Yes, certainly. Anyone who wishes to peruse the objects here, it seems only fair as you you risk your lives for them. And he kind of, looks to you, Vivian, as well, as you'd expressed interest in books. You are welcome to read whatever is in here, although I will need them back.
All right. Do I find spells in there?
Do you find what?
Find spells in there that can cop me down, theoretically.
No, unfortunately, this is all just appears to be kind of mundane things.
All right.
There are ways you can get spells, which we'll talk about after this. But Jeremy,
This looks like a tome. Do you mind if I keep it?
It is an old family heirloom. We will have to have a discussion about this. And as you say that about a tome, I think that's what we'll call this adventure. As Bioshi discovers a dark need.